what people are probably speculating on doing is they're going to mortgage their house, take out a loan, whatever, take out a crypto loan. They're going to put it into some coin. Let's call it Link, maybe USDC if they want to take that whole risk, which is not the worst case to be honest. But so let's say I had a house, I mortgage it, I get 200,000, $500,000 out, whatever it is. I put it into USDC, and then I wait for the fork, right? And then with my let's say $500,000 of USDC on PulseChain, I try to buy as much Pulse as I can. So that's what I think people are going to do. And so another good thing with my theory is if you do that, it kind of makes the PRC20 tokens worthless, right? It gives it like 1% value. So if you did this whole thing, mortgage your house for $500,000, well, guess what? Divide that by 100. Now you've got $5,000 worth of value that you're putting into that you have in PulseChain, right? Relative value, because of the way the dexes or the liquidity pools work, right? Now you're thinking, well, was it really worth it for me to take on all this extra risk, taking this mortgage out and everything else, for $500,000 that I have to pay back on some kind of a schedule to the banks in the real world for this $5,000, kind of early adopters or early access fee, on PulseChain. And so doing it my way limits people who are trying to take advantage of the system in that way. It also means that all this talk we've been doing about PRC20s is probably overblown, right? Kind of like the talk that we had originally about the 30-day clawback was overblown, and we knew it at the time, right? The only thing is we don't know whether it's going to be overblown or not because we don't know what the fixer bot is going to do, what its intentions are on the Pulse chain, right? How much of the liquidity is going to be put into the Pulse XX. But I just think that what I laid out makes the most sense, right? It doesn't incentivize people to gamble, right, and trying to wreck themselves. It doesn't give extra value to people who are just trying to get free copies through the PRC20 tokens, right, and didn't sacrifice at all. If you wanted to buy, your tokens, Hex or something that's valuable, then you will get them at a discounted rate, right? It basically means, I believe it means that they're on sale, right, for a lot less of the value that it is. So when you do bridge over the value, you'll get it at maybe a penny or maybe even a tenth of a cent possibly until that pumps. And then the tokens that aren't worth anything and never will be worth anything, they don't have any value anyways, right? And that's what you want. You don't want to give them, kind of full dollar value. You want to give them, basically a penny or two for the value.
Yeah, you were saying, you just put in 1%, just prime it just a little, and then let that go away.
Yeah, and I mean, after a little while, you can stick in those pools if you really wanted to, at whatever the ratio is. Just to start it, I think they should kind of do a slow roll out of that liquidity. Maybe it's not a one-time deal. Maybe it's a slow roll where they add liquidity maybe every month or week or whatever it is to these pools, and then they have to match that ratio. The only issue with that is, then they kind of have to mint more PulseChain or have PulseChain tokens ready to match up in the future, and you don't know how much that is in the future.